Kayaya, who is a life and executive coach. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Nelima, and thank you very much for the invitation.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Right. Yeah. The last time I saw you was in 2022. So just glad to see you healthy.
Yes.
Still looks like the year is starting off well for you.
Yes, it has, and I thank God for the good start.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're 10 days into this new year. And should resolutions be written in the previous year, in the new year? What is the right time to write resolutions?
Yeah. I can say that there is really no time. Like, you cannot say it has to be by the end of the year or it has to be by the beginning of the next year. Like, for example, for me, I'm still in the process of finalizing all my goals, because it really needs a lot of resetting, a lot of analysis, a lot of reflection. And you can't just rush through.
Right.
There's a lot of changes you have to do before you set up the goals.
Right.
Yeah.
And with a new year, then it marks a new beginning for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And people want progress. So that 2022 is then different from 2023. By the time December comes, then we have made a certain progress in whichever area of our lives. Could be spiritual, could be work-related.
Yes.
So many other things. Could be new skills that we're looking to learn. But then everything, like many facets, and it can be overwhelming. Where do we start?
Okay, that's a very good question, and we've had this discussion before in regards to what to look at. You still have to look at the 8 facets of life. Your spirituality, you have to set goals on that. You have to also set goals on your family. You have to set goals about your health. You have to set goals about your career, your work, your craft. You also have to set goals about your social connection. Right. You have to set goals about your fun and adventure. You have to set goals about your self-love. So it's really a holistic view of your life. So you cannot just look at maybe 2 areas, just your career, and you forget about the other facets that are very important.
Right.
Yes.
And with the new year, it's a change of dates. And not so much like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll feel brand new.
Yeah. So
it's more of what happens in your mind. So with that being said, there are many goals that we have set before, even in 2022, and there are even more that we're going to set up as the year progresses.
Yes.
But how then do we say that this is time? Now, if I said that I'll start working out, I'm going to sign myself into a gym, then I start now. When do we make that decision?
Yeah, it's actually highly dependent on when you set your 2022 goals, because each and every goal is time bound. So if 6 months, rush into setting goals. Take time, reflect on 2022, audit it, because if you know companies, they normally also sit down.
Right.
They audit their companies. But what about yourself? Do you sit down and audit yourself? Yeah, so it actually, you don't rush to set goals. First of all, you audit, you reflect. What did I win? What did I achieve in regards to what I set up? What went wrong? And why did it go wrong? Yeah, and what solution do I have, if there is any? Sometimes there are some goals that really don't work and you have to drop them off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this again, so it has to, we have to invest in our time, just for the assessment as well.
Yes. Actually,
so then it looks like a lot of work just to set up goals and resolutions.
So it starts by having that audit of the previous year or of the previous timeline that you had set. So you start from there. Where did I go wrong? What are the achievements? And celebrate them, by the way, because it gives you motivation to know that actually in 2023 I can still accomplish the goals that I'm going to set. So we take time, you celebrate the wins. where we went wrong, we said, okay, we went wrong. Is there a solution? Yes. What is the solution? We come up with the solution, and then we can actually carry the same goals to the next year, but now you have adjusted in terms of strategy. So it doesn't mean that each and every year you have to drop off all the goals and now you set all the
new
goals. So you have to do that, and also you also have to look at the lessons. What did you learn? Because those are the lessons that you have to tap to as you continue the journey of the next year. So there's that time of reflection, and then once you're done with that, then you go to the next stage, which is changing your mindset. You don't rush to set goals yet. Because, for example, if you failed, there's something that didn't go well last year. But what happened? What caused it to maybe not work? Could it be your mindset? Could it be like you limited your mindset? So if you quickly go with the same mindset to 2023 and set goals for 2023 with the same limited mindset,
then you'll achieve the same results.
Same results. So let's not rush.
This is where they say adulting is hard. Because then, you see, these are not, no one is holding a gun to your head. But these are the most vital things. So then, how does someone bring themselves into saying, you're talking about mindset, and so how does someone now say, I struggle? A lot of people say, I'm not a morning person. I'm not a morning person. Then I've been struggling to wake up and even get to work on time. Then, so how then do I change my mindset? And when my alarm goes off at 6 a.m., then I load 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm out of bed.
Okay, you see, the mindset is actually a set of beliefs that we hold about ourselves and also the world. So that mindset that you have, for example, that, my mornings, I'm not a morning person, it's already a belief system that is in you. And I'm telling you, even if you try hard to wake up on time, maybe at 5 a.m., it's going to be a struggle, because it's that default system of a belief system that is controlling you. As much as you want to wake up at 5, but you don't have a supportive system for that habit. So you have to look at, this is what I want to do, but if it's not happening, then you go to, what story are you telling yourself? What belief system are you holding in regards to that? So you have to change it in a way that, I love my mornings. It's actually a quiet time. I get time maybe to read, to meditate, and then it makes me to, become productive. So you have to keep on telling yourself the new belief system so that we change the mindset to support that habit. Then
meditation becomes a huge part when people want to just review, even set goals, and reevaluate as well. So meditation at this time, in the social media era, where they say you check your Instagram before you even know if you can actually walk. So that's the first thing, that's the first place that people go to. So perhaps a morning routine that would make us achieving our goals more effective. What would be your advice?
It depends on what is your goal, what you've set your goal to be like. Because once you set a goal, you must have, of course, a habit that support that. So for example, if you want to wake up early and you've set some few goals in regards to your work, it's always good to wake up in the morning and you meditate on the how am I going to achieve this? So you use that quiet morning time to win your day. You meditate, actually seeing yourself that you've won the day. So that's what you mean by changing your mindset. Because if for example, last year you didn't do well, maybe financially, maybe you had a target of maybe having a net income of, let me just say, 300,000. And the year has come, and maybe you're not on salary, you're a business person, and maybe you've hit 200,000. Yeah, so you need to sit down and ask yourself, why didn't you not hit the target?
Right.
Yeah, so is it that you said my business is not going to flourish, or the competition is too much, or there are no opportunities? So you really have to look at the story that you've been telling yourself so that you change that, saying that actually you can say that competition is good. Yeah, and also telling yourself that I'm capable, my business, I have good products, my business is going to work. And you keep on affirming that belief in 2023.
Let's talk about those affirmations. So how important are affirmations, and when should we be affirming ourselves?
Yeah. So affirmations actually come normal. There are steps in regards to setting of goals before we reach to affirmations. There's that one whereby you reflect first, then you change your mindset to support the new goals or whatever you want in your life. And then from there, you also look at the self-sabotaging thoughts. Yeah, because most of us actually disqualify ourselves even before we try.
Right.
I catch myself actually, I'm a coach, yes, I'm a human being. I still find myself disqualifying myself. You understand? So it means we really have to be very alert and having very high self-awareness in terms of our thought process. What thoughts are running through our mind? Are they supportive? Are they disqualifying our action taking? Because remember, setting of goals means you have to take action.
Right.
But the moment you have a thought that doesn't empower you to take action, then basically you're not able to move forward.
Right.
Yeah.
And now just the self-motivation. So affirmations are part of it.
Yes.
But what more is there for us to self-motivate ourselves and just jump into action?
Yeah. That's a very good question. And motivation can be innate. Yeah, you can just, you really want to change. 2023 is here. I want to become a different person. I want to lose weight. I want to, grow in my family. I want to grow in my career. So there's that. You really want it so bad. So that will be an easy one. Yeah, because you just now have to sit and say, okay, what do I want? I want to, maybe by end of year, I want a promotion. So what do you need to do for you to get the promotion? So you set up the how of getting there. But if then the motivation is not there, you have to just looking for the ways of growing, of saying this is another year, I have a potential of becoming more this year.
Right. Then
you just sit down and you say, okay, maybe when it comes to my weight, I need to lose 5 kilos. I need to be, more healthy. So it's just a matter of sometimes just moving with how the society sometimes is moving, like it's a new year. We have to make new goals. We have to grow. And you also participate in the process. Don't be left behind.
and jump into action and see those goals happening.
Yeah.
And then there's the enemy of average. Then you're in the comfort zone, and it's easy if you pay your bills and you're a good person in society, you obey traffic lights. Yeah. So it's easy to be okay with average, but then that can hinder growth. So how do we get out of that comfort zone?
Yeah. Now, that is normally a very interesting question, because what is required for you to move out of the comfort zone is a lot of effort.
Yeah. Comfort zone is so comfortable.
It is
Why?
So comfortable. Yeah, and once you step out of the comfort zone is when now you'll also experience your weaknesses. So it can also discourage someone, and it makes people always to go back to that comfort zone. So when you have that mindset that we're talking about, of a growth mindset, you know that for me to stretch, I have to step out of the comfort zone. I have to try new things. I have to try new challenges. And also when I fail, it doesn't mean that I'm not capable. It just means that I'm not yet there in terms of skills acquisition. So what we need to do is that let's step out. Let's make the goals. Keep and take action. Yeah, so that you can be able to grow your skill. Yeah.
So we just have to keep doing it.
Practice. And actually what we advise our clients is that, yes, as much as we tell you, set your goal, look at the end result. Like, for example, I want to maybe earn 1 million Kenya shillings, but don't focus on that goal. because it will look so big. It will look like at some point it's not going to, it's not achievable. So we focus now on the process. We focus on the effort daily. So for example, you want to earn 1 million. So today maybe you've gone somewhere and you've sold something worth 10,000 in a day. That is progress.
Right.
So you celebrate the little steps. You celebrate the process, and knowing that really I'm working towards my 1 million, and you will get there. Yeah, let's not be so tough on ourselves as well.
The progress, they say progress over perfection. So the daily progress that we make, then we should be able to appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, if the danger that is normally there is that we want to experience success immediately, overnight success or overnight results, which really doesn't happen. Actually, for me nowadays, I'm very skeptical when people approach me telling me there are those quick wins, because I understand the process of life, I understand the journey that we have to take for us to experience that growth, and it needs effort. Yeah, actually, I've just remembered the Mbappe, the footballer.
Kylian.
Yeah. When he was done with the World Cup, after some few days, he went back to training, and that is a star.
A goat in the making, they call him.
I'm telling you, he's already a star. Yeah, so, and he had to go back to training. So what does that tell you? He has a growth mindset. You have to keep on doing. You have to keep on taking action. Yeah, there's no point whereby you'll say, now I have reached. Yeah, you just have to keep on working on yourself, on your goals on a daily basis, and appreciate yourself also. Let's be kind. I insist on that.
Let's be kind to ourselves.
Let's be kind to ourselves.
And there's that rule of the 10,000 hours that you have to put in 10,000 hours for you to be great at something.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the same, given that 10,000 hours, those are many hours?
Yeah.
So just going about being very intentional and putting in the work and the action on a daily basis.
Yeah, and that is why I still insist on a growth mindset, because when you have a growth mindset, you appreciate the daily efforts before you reach to the 10,000 hours. Because for you to reach the 10,000 hours, it requires around 5 years. If maybe you've started a new industry, so it takes time. Yeah. So if you look at 10,000, you'll say that 5 years is so far. Then it means I'm not able to do what I'm supposed to do now. No, you already have skills. You're able to do what you're supposed to do now. But you just have to keep on growing, to keep on being in the process, to keep on doing your work, taking on the goals until you reach the 10,000 hours of mastery. Right. Yeah, and even when you reach there, you don't stop. Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, if you stop,
you'll go back.
It will go down. Yeah, so we have to work until the time comes.
Normal.
When we are done with our world, we will not stop.
And then just looking at other areas of our lives, then let's talk relationships.
Yeah.
And relationships, not only for seeking a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, even just relationships as in colleagues or friends, the social aspect as well. Because we know then, they say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. So relationships are a very significant part of our lives.
Yes.
So, and with the new year then, once we reevaluate the contribution of the friends that we've had, the kind of relationship that we had, when it's time to cut off, how do we go about it?
Yeah. That's a very good question. And relationships are there they're there to make your life easier, And let me tell you something. The Bible also says that you need to have friends who are loyal, friends who are good, friends who have wise counsel. Yeah. So from that aspect, you also have to do a review of your relationships. Are they supporting your goals? Yeah. Are they positive people? Because let me tell you something. If you're with people who are negative, do you know that will rub off on you unconsciously? This has happened to me. I cannot really say it's about friendship, but just a statement someone said. Yeah, like when it comes, for example, to fasting, at some point they said it reached a point I stopped fasting during the day because I just felt hungry and I ate. And it's just a statement that person said. And I found myself at a particular point, I did the same thing.
You go hungry.
I'm telling you, and I ate. And there's another friend of mine who told me, like, for her, she wakes up very early at around 4 o'clock to read. And I find myself also doing the same thing. So you really have to be very intentional about the people who surround you. Yeah, because you'll start operating at their levels. Yeah, so it's good to have people who are above you in terms of their skills, in terms of their expertise. That's very good. And also look at their minds. How positive are they? The world is already negative, 78% of it. So you don't want other people to start
a lot of negative energy,
adding negative energy on you. So we have to be very, very conscious. Yeah,
and very, very specifically with the new year. Then there are people who want to stop some bad habits. One of which would be alcohol.
Yeah.
Alcohol abuse, drug abuse. But let me talk about alcohol because it's the most prevalent. And so then, can one person then stop taking alcohol but be in the company of people who are still taking alcohol? Because there's some instances that people have said then that because they have been there and have reformed, so it's not easy for them to go back. But these people are still their friends. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it depends on the severity of the addiction maybe that was there before. If you are really deep into it, it's always good to, protect yourself and not really expose yourself to such kind of environment. Yeah, so, but there's some people, of course, if it's a business setting, you go and have a meeting. Yeah, there's some people who will drink, but when you have self-control and you've made that decision to stop drinking, then you'll be able to pull through. Yeah, but it's also advisable to know the severity of the addiction that you had.
Right, and now that we're talking about alcoholism, habits, just breaking habits, I know we'll be getting a lot into it and on the other side after the break, but just a little bit of it, then habits, we form them, sometimes they're bad habits, and now stopping a habit can be pretty hard.
Yeah.
So how then do we say that you desire to stop, but it's not easier said than done?
Yeah.
So how does someone go on about breaking off a bad habit?
Yeah. Yeah, so that breaking a habit takes time. Yeah, it takes around, actually for it to become a lifestyle, it takes 90 days, between 60 to 90 days, because the first 21 days is actually installation stage, whereby you're installing the habit. And at that point, it is very hard. So it starts by you understanding the process of installing a habit, knowing that it takes time. The first 21 days is going to be very hectic. You'll find like you will not see any progress at that particular point. For example, if it's maybe, let me just say the easy one, like losing weight.
Right.
You've started exercising, but you're not seeing any changes, but there are changes that are happening. Yeah, so you have to keep on telling yourself that I'm on course, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and change is going to come. So now, after the 22 days, we move now to the next step, which is now your habit is becoming automated. So it becomes less harder to undertake it.
Right.
So there's now from the second stage, it becomes easier. You feel better. You're able to see results, some of them, but not in all of them. So you get motivated to continue pushing through until the time when it becomes your lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll be talking a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Because very important, even as we look into the new year to make habits, positive habits. We are taking a very short break here on the program. This is #The Morning Drift. And today we are talking about the 2023 resolutions. How do you make resolutions and how can you change your mindset? We'll be coming back on the other side in just a few.
Vera Beauty and Fashion College is focused on being the leading technical and vocational training institute in the region. Our team possesses in-depth knowledge and extensive experience in the industry, offering thorough training in cosmetology, hairdressing, interior design, creative arts, training of trainers, nail technology, and fashion design, with branches in Nairobi, Thika, Meru, Eldoret, and now in Mombasa. Our courses ensure that learners are completely equipped with knowledge, competency, and employability skills. Enroll today to be a part of a center of excellence.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
Good morning, welcome back. This is The Morning Drift. Nancy Nelima here, and today on our conversation, we are talking about making 2023 resolutions and changing the mindset. Remember, the hashtag is The Morning Drift, and you can watch this live broadcast across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. With me on set is Sianto Kikayaya, who is a life and executive coach. And let's continue the conversation, Sianto. We were talking about creating habits. Of course, breaking off the negative, bad habits that perhaps have resulted to us not achieving our goals. And now into a more positive conversation. Then how do we create positive habits? You know, when you talk about positive habits, the first that comes to my mind is working out and then reading books. So how do we go about it? How do we effect it in our lives?
So what we need to do, the first step, I think I've already discussed that, is you have to reset. You have to analyze. You have to change your mindset. And before you rush to make goals, understand who you are, your identity.
Do you know that takes us back?
Do you know your strengths? Do you know your potential? Because if you're not aware, then you're going to set goals that are not aligned with your potential. So you might find that, yes, you're excited, you've already set your 2023 goals, but are they really are they goals that reflect your full potential? So you need to sit down, look at your strengths. We normally have several tests that we do for our clients so that we raise your awareness about your strengths and also about your weaknesses.
Right.
So with that, to be able to give you, clarity when it comes to setting of goals. The other thing that you also need to do, you also have to look at your purpose. You have to find purpose in your 2023. And most people normally get confused and they think that purpose has nothing to do with maybe your current work. No, your current work could be your purpose. But how can you really make it meaningful to you and also to other people, to the society? And also, if now maybe what you're doing is not your purpose, after we do the test and you identify indeed this is your purpose, then how can you start nurturing it as you continue working on your work? So that once you know this is my purpose, then you can set goals that will ensure that this purpose comes to life. So there's also that aspect of purpose, and also we have also to know about your time management before you set goals.
Oh, time management.
Yes.
That's always a very big fish to fry for very many people.
Yes, and actually I can tell how you manage your time by just asking you, how do you spend your day? From the time you wake up until the time you go to sleep, how is your time schedule? From that I'll be able to know if indeed you manage your time well, and even if you're productive. So it comes very clear now when I have that one-on-one engagement with the client. Yeah.
Right. And as you mentioned, time management. There's this thing with time; it just keeps moving, and so you 5 minutes in the morning. 5 minutes is a lot of time. 5 minutes then becomes 15 minutes in the morning, especially in the morning. I don't know how that just happens, but now time management. Then they say if you value your time, then you'll value every other thing.
Yeah.
But how do people now get to be punctual?
Yeah. Yeah, actually it starts by knowing what you want. So that if what you want is not what is being presented to you at that particular point, then you'll be able to say, no, I'm not going to engage in this, maybe this task. You get it? Right. But if you don't know what you want, then anything comes your way, you're taking in. So you find that really time is moving, but you're not being productive. So it starts by knowing what you want, scheduling time for that, having a ritual, a day ritual, a time schedule the whole day, and knowing what is important to you and what is not important, such that you're able to say no, and you won't feel bad by saying no, because it's not taking you to your goal.
Okay. Yeah. So, and when people talk about being fashionably late, should we ditch that in 2023?
Being late, you have no excuse to be late, by the way. You cannot even use traffic as an excuse to be late. No, seriously. Right. We know our Nairobi. If you have an appointment at 11, then ensure that you're there without having considered that there'll be traffic. So there's some excuses that we have really to let go in 2023, and I'm also speaking to myself.
Not just for us, no, for everyone as well.
Yes.
Because some people find it very disrespectful, especially in the first world countries where time is of essence. They regard time very highly. So that if you don't respect time, then you don't respect the person you're going to meet. Yeah,
and you don't respect what you're doing. So it just shows the kind of person that you are. If you don't respect time, it means you don't respect yourself as well.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, when you say it that way, then maybe it's time to put it into action.
Yeah, because if you don't respect what you do and you go late, then really, that's not a good habit.
Right.
We have to cut it off this year. And it's possible.
Right.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay. And now, inculcating these new habits, say like reading a book, or working out, perhaps would you say that we need a partner? Does it help?
Yes, it helps, by the way. Like, for example, myself, I try. My husband reads a lot. For me, I try at least to read 1 to 2 books in a month. Yeah. Apart from what I do in terms of personal development. This is just other industries, type of information. So he's my accountability partner. So we have to read 1 book in a month, and after a month we have to sit down and discuss it. So with that I have to finish reading that book. So it's good to have an accountability partner for not just even reading books, but on the goals that you've set. Yeah, because if you have someone who reminds you that this has to happen, and where are you, like someone to check on your progress, then that will, make you take action, and that means you're on your way to achieve your goals for 2023.
Right, and as we get into this year, then mentorship is always required. But how vital is it for us to get mentors as we are setting up goals for the new year?
Yeah. Of course, a mentor is someone who has already stepped where you want to step. They've already gotten their shoes muddy. They've already gone through the sweat part of it, and they're on the other side.
Right.
So they have good insights on the process. If you are, if you're an amateur, for them they've already mastered it. So mentors really help your journey to be smoother. It helps us not to make a lot of mistakes, and it helps us to reach to our goal faster, because now we are going to avoid the mistakes and the mud that they had to go through. Like now for me, in the 8 facets of my life, I have a mentor. My spiritual mentor, I have one.
So you have mentors for all the 8 facets?
Yes, because you'll find that for example, in my industry as a coach, that person might not be an expert when it comes to spirituality. So I have to tap. A mentor is someone who has the skills that that are very specific to that facet of your life.
Okay.
So spirituality, you look maybe for a pastor. Yeah, it's now you is going to choose the kind of person you're going to, to choose. If it's about your career, who is your mentor? Someone who is ahead of you. You look for someone who is in that industry. Yeah. So when it comes to when we talk about exercise, health, right. You cannot use your pastor, unless if he has both to guide you on your health journey. Are you getting me? Yeah. So you have to look for specific mentors for the 8 areas of your life.
Okay, so how do we look for these mentors?
Yeah.
Because could be in church.
Yeah.
Do you go and approach someone and tell them, can you please be my mentor because I admire the way you live your life?
Yes. Successful people know that you need to have a mentor. And for you to get one, you have to be bold enough and go and tell someone, by the way, I love what you're doing. I love where you've reached. I love what you do, and I would really want you to hold my hand. And let me tell you, those people who are already ahead of you, they're so kind and they'll be so happy to take you in. But you have to make the bold step of asking. We normally shy off from doing that. Like you feel like you're being overbearing or you're stepping into someone's space. No, those people are really willing to take you on because someone else also helped them. If they're successful, I'm telling you, someone else has helped them. So they're willing to give you their hand. So let's look for our mentors.
So you just have to approach people.
Yes, you approach people and you tell them what your goal is, what you're looking for, and they're going to counsel you. They give you the advice on how to move there faster.
Right.
Actually, if you don't have a mentor, I'll be very worried. Yes, I'll be very worried.
Like, how do you expect to achieve? Okay.
Unless if you want to take so many years. Yeah.
Right. And money. Very interesting conversation. A forever, all-time conversation is about money. And our relationship with money as well. We know debt. Debt is a big problem, even just for Kenyans generally, given what we cover in the news, that even Kenyans, for the loan that is being given by the Kenya Kwanza government, the Hustler Fund, already just hit millions within the first 24 hours. And whether Kenyans are going to pay off the debt or not, that's a whole discussion. But our relationship with money then, we want to progress, we want to save more, we want to pay off our debts in time. So just managing our finances.
Now, what I know and what I believe in is that people who are wealthy, they just don't know how to make money alone. They know they are good managers of the money.
Right.
Because you make the money and you have to keep it. If you don't keep it, it will just...
You lose it.
Yeah. And there's something we call cognitive dissonance, whereby we have those installed, let me just say, default systems within us. That, for example, you might find that this person, when they get money, they just have to spend it all. Yeah.
To the last coin.
To the last coin. Yeah, so it depends also. So that cognitive dissonance is whereby you have to be taken back to what the relationship you have with money. So for you, if the relationship you have with money is spending, you win your lottery, spend it, you buy cars, luxurious life, it has to take you back to what you're used to. Yeah, but so successful people, they have trained them. It is a good thing because you can train yourself to manage your money well so that you are not taken back there. Yeah, so that now your new money relationship system that you have is for saving. So you have, of course, first to earn the money. You have to save your money. You have to invest your money. You also have to, enjoy your money. Yeah, let it do self-love. Go and do your pedicure, your manicure.
Right.
Go for a massage, go on holiday. I mean, it's a party time. So have money for that allocation as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's how you manage your money that matters most. Okay.
Yeah.
And now that Kenyans are more open even to going on vacation.
Yeah.
Actually, on the front page of the Daily Nation, there is a story there about the coastal region in Mombasa specifically, still raking in the money because Kenyans, tourists have decided to extend the festivities just a little bit more on vacation. So people are more open to vacations. But again, with the vacations, then planning is vital as well.
Yeah, and that is vacationing or taking that break is also part of goals that you have to set for traveling and just relaxing. So, for example, you might put in a bucket list. I want to go to maybe five places this year, but based on the budget, you might say, okay, maybe I can just afford to go to one place. So you set a goal, and then now, how much are you supposed to be contributing? How much are you going to be contributing in a month for that specific goal? So even having fun, you have to, you have to plan for it. You have to plan for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you know, sometimes people, a group of friends may think you're not as fun because you don't want to go on a impromptu road trip and whatever.
Yeah.
But now, if you want to be more mindful of your money, then is that a problem then?
No, you actually, the way I told you, you have to be comfortable by who you are and your journey that you're traveling and why you cannot do some other stuff. Like for example, the way I'm supposed to go to this destination only, for example, for a holiday, and then there's just this impromptu party or a road trip that has come, and it's going to mess your finances, then you can actually say no. It's good to be at a place where you're comfortable.
Right.
To really tell people no to some aspects that you cannot engage in, and there's nothing bad with that. Actually, it shows that you're a very strong person.
Okay.
Yeah, you are not a person. You're not a person who is just moved all over the place. You know where you're going, and you cannot say to anything that is not taking you there. So if a road trip is going to mess up you with your savings for that good holiday for December, then you can actually say no, and you say, I'm afraid I'm not able to be part of this trip in a nice way.
Even if you look uncool,
it is fine.
It's fine.
It is fine. Imagine there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these are the times when we're living in the digital space. And so there's social media. And with social media, then there's pressure. Because then people are posing with some big machines and the lifestyle generally.
Yeah.
Posh restaurants, posh clothes, hair, shoes, nails. There's just a lot that we look at every single day.
Yeah.
And so there's a pressure of being tempted to live that life, even perhaps when our pocket doesn't allow.
Yeah.
So, and I know that is a problem that very many people are facing, very many young people are facing right now. So what would your advice be?
Yeah. My advice would be, first of all, just of course to stick with what you have planned for your life in terms of the goals. The other thing is to practice gratitude and contentment. The way this life is, you can never really have everything that the other person has, and the other person might not also have everything that you have. So you'll always be stressed, you'll always be unhappy because you're in competition. Yeah, you're envying what the other person have, but not in a nice way. Yeah, so you just have to be able to really be at a point where you're okay, that at the moment this is the kind of lifestyle that I can afford. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you're going to be there for forever. You have goals you've set up that will take you to that lifestyle eventually, if that's what you want.
Right.
Yeah. But not being reckless about it, though.
Right. And now you brought the aspect of competition. While competition can be a positive thing, but it can also be very toxic because you can start comparing yourself to the people around you and just wonder why you're mark timing while other people are making progress. progress.
Yeah.
So how can we look at competition in a more positive way?
Yeah, actually, successful people, they get happy when other people are succeeding. They don't feel bad,
right?
Actually. So you should be able to be happy to see that your colleague or your friend is doing well. What you need to do is go to that friend of yours who is successful and ask them, how did you get there?
Right.
Yeah, don't feel bad. Go and ask them.
Don't have some ego.
Yeah, go and ask them, how did you get there? And then you get answers. So don't be so envious to a point that now you feel like you can never match up, or even you can never reach to that lifestyle, because it is possible. When you get the mentorship from your friend, because even your friend can be your mentor, then you can get there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then now that takes me back to relationships.
Yeah.
Just how do we get into more positive relationships and away from a toxic relationship? Could be a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, could even be the work environment as well.
Yeah. The way to get into positive relationships is by finding yourself or being intentional on the groups that you're going to join. Groups that are supportive of what you have decided you want to do. Like, for example, you've decided that you want to grow your spiritual journey. Can you find groups? It doesn't have to be your friends. Can you find groups that support that?
Right.
Yeah. For example, it's about healthy eating. Can you find, and by the way, you'll find friends there.
True.
Yeah, you don't need to hold on to your old friends who are not understanding the new you or the journey that you're traveling. But when you go to that group of people who are like-minded, then they'll be able to support you, and you'll feel like you belong to the group, than feeling that people are being negative on you. Yeah, and soon enough you're going to be on the other side. So it's better for you to look for those supportive groups. If, for example, it's a financial aspect of it,
right.
There are a lot of investment clubs someone can join. Yeah, there are a lot of associations that you can join. So you have to be intentional and look for such clubs or groups, because they're there.
Okay.
So you find yourself in a positive environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as we're finishing off, there's this group of people who go against the grain and say, I don't have to write down resolutions. I know what I want, and I'll achieve it.
Yeah.
Just taking a pen and a paper or typing on my computer is not necessary.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
That's a very risky way of living life, because you'll find yourself, any direction then works for you. That's why, for example, in a football match, there's a goal whereby you have to score there for it to be counted like you've achieved.
Right.
So for you also to have to score in life, you must have a goal that you have to work towards it. Yeah. So people who don't set up goals, you'll find that maybe there is actually no progress in their lives. So their life really doesn't change totally, or even if it changes, maybe at 10 to 15%. And these are people who have potential to see progress of 80% in the year. So I would really urge people to take time. Don't rush into setting goals. Shift your mindset. Yeah, know who you are. Know your strengths, know your skills.
Right.
Yeah, and also find your purpose so that it's aligned with your goals. Yeah, so that you're able to, at the end of the year, in terms of the time that you have set the goals,
right.
You'll be able to look back and you will be proud of yourself, of the little steps that have brought you to that big success. So it is possible. We should be able to, just take time and get a direction of where we want our 2023 to head to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are people in society that we look up to. Mm-hmm. There could be people in the music scene, could be politicians.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have managed to make a name for themselves in that area. Mm-hmm. But now when we get to know other parts of their lives, then you get to see that they have struggles just as well.
Yeah.
So can we then learn from this, and how different can we now work ourselves? Yeah,
it's just having that self-awareness that for you to really have holistic fulfillment of life,
right.
You not only cover your career, like now politicians, maybe they're just focusing on their politics, but how is their family setting? How is their family? How are their families? Do they have a stable family? How is their health? Yeah, so we have to look at your spirituality. You have to set goals on that. You have to set goals on your family. Yeah, you have to put up habits and rituals there. You have to set goals for your mental well-being, for your soul. You also have to set goals for your career, for your finances, for your wealth. You have to set goals for your social capital, your social connection.
Right.
Yeah, you also have to set time for self-love. So you have to capture all that when it comes to setting goals.
Right.
Yeah, and also not just setting goals. After you set goals, you have to come up with habits that support that. Yeah, because if you set a goal, then it becomes a resolution. If you just say, I want to lose weight, then it is a resolution. It is not a goal. Because there's a difference between a resolution and a goal.
Right.
We are focusing on goals in 2023, not resolutions. Goals are time-bound. Goals are specific, and goals they are measurable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have to. It's work. You have to sit down and do that.
Okay, and so maybe a word as we conclude for many people who are stuck.
Yeah.
You know, and that's almost always the majority. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of fear. There's that fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're really meant to be great, and it could scare you.
Yeah.
And so you just choose not to do much about it.
Yeah.
So speak to those people.
Yeah. I would tell them that it is normal, first of all, to feel fearful, to feel like you are an imposter, to feel that you're not good enough, to feel that you don't belong, to feel like other people are better than you, or other people deserve really to have more than you are. But it doesn't mean that should be your story. Those are just thoughts that you have about yourself. Those are actually what we call false belief systems you have about yourself that we need to change in 2023. We change how you think about yourself so that you'll be able to empower yourself. Empower your mind, empower your action taking, empower your feeling so that you can achieve what you're supposed to achieve. I want to tell people that we have the ability to become more. We have the ability to change and to become totally different people.
Right.
But we have to be intentional about it, and we set goals. And I'm here to help you. My name is Sianto Kekayaya. You can call me on 0703-478-426, and then I'll be able to help you start off the journey.
Right, enough said. I can't add anything on top of that. But I'm so grateful to have you, Sianto,
thank you.
on the program. And thank you so much. And I believe that goes a long way into helping us as we are setting our 2023 goals.
Yeah.
Because we want to make them smart goals. And of course, changing the mindset as well. That has been our morning conversation right here. But it doesn't have to end here. Let's keep the conversation going across our social media platforms at Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. Talk to us. What are your 2023 goals? How do you want to achieve them? And if you're stuck, Sianto is right here. She'll be able to give you a helping hand. I am Nelima. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be handing it over to Simba, who's going to bring us up to speed with what's happening on the business front. Good morning.